if you are a photographer or anybody in the creative world, if you're not learning every day, goodbye. 2 years, you're not gonna be there.
Welcome back to the Calling Code with Mina Salib, a place where we speak to and learn from people who are driven by excellence and led by faith. Today, really excited to be joined by NYC-based wedding photographer and founder of Mansi Studios, Chadi Mansi, whose lens captures not just people, but purpose. Known for his timeless, emotion-driven photography, Chadi's journey is one of creative excellence, deep faith, and a relentless pursuit of meaning in his craft. We're going to deep dive into what it takes to build a thriving business in the creative industry, mainly photography, one that is grounded in authenticity and one that really serves people, and how art can become a form of excellence. So with that, I want to turn it over to Chadi. I want to say thanks so much for joining us today, Chadi. Really appreciate you being on the Calling Code Entrepreneurs Corner. Thanks for being on.
Thank you, Mina. Thank you so much for the introduction. It's my pleasure and honor to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.
No problem, man. I've been obviously, tracking your work for a really long time. You've been used by some of my favorite people in the world to capture their most special moment, mainly their wedding, their engagement, and just things that they remember for their lifetimes, right? These are the things that, really start their moments together and start their legacies together. So, it's been really cool to see what you've done so far and kind of how you've carried your business and the brand. But I really wanted to kind of just, before we get into the business and how you started it and all of that, I just want to learn a little bit more about you. How would you kind of describe yourself? Who is Chadi?
Very hard question, but we'll do my best.
Sure.
I'm an engineer. I don't know, a lot of people don't know this, but like I'm an electrical engineer. But since day one, I had like a feeling that there is something creative in me. Whatever it is, I didn't know what is it, but I knew that I had something that I would love to share with everyone, and photography just came out of nowhere. I had nobody like in my family that did photography. Nobody gave me a camera, like nothing, just out of nowhere. So yeah, that's, for me, I'm just a curious person, very creative, very passionate. That's how I would describe it.
Well, so I had no clue that you're an electrical engineer. That's pretty wild. That's super. I'm sure actually not many people, maybe your closest friends, know this about you. How'd you kind of make that transition, especially given that nobody in your family is kind of in the creative industry? Nobody gave you a camera put in your hand when you were, 5 and said, go be the best.
Yeah, it was a very hard decision for me. Like when, how we are brought up, we're very traditional. You either have to be an engineer or a doctor.
Yeah.
Other than that, it doesn't work.
Of course. Other than that, you're a failure. No big deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, no, I'm not going into medical school and like studying for 10 years. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, what is shorter? It's engineering. In Egypt, it's like 5 years. I was like, you know what? It's okay. I just get it done and move on with it.
Right.
Yeah. So I just went into engineering 5 years. And then once I graduated, I started to work in the field. And I started to do petroleum engineering. So I would travel for like 4 or 5 weeks on like offshore somewhere in the desert, work nonstop, and then you have 5 weeks off, just off. So these off days, I used to do like photography and weddings.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Until one day, one of like I used to travel internationally. I was actually in Kenya, working in Kenya. I used to work in Kenya.
Cool.
And one time they had a problem with the airport, and it was very hard for me to get back to the wedding that I have scheduled. And then I was like, you know what? I need to decide. I have to go like one direction. It was a very hard decision, of course, for me and for my family and everyone who knows me. Like, are you crazy? Why are you gonna do this to yourself?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
gonna leave this like career and all
yeah,
of that and engineering, and you wanna go like do something you have no idea what you're doing. So yeah, it was a very hard decision, but it took a long time.
yeah. Well, so you're 5 years in, and, like, why photography? So you just started doing this on the side? Like, how'd you initially pick it up? Where did that come from?
So one of my friends, they gifted me a camera, which is very like in most photographers they would tell you that somebody gifted them a camera and
Oh,
start
cool.
there. I just had the camera. And of course, I had no idea what I was doing, and I started to take photos of people. And the one thing that triggered it for me,
Huh.
when I showed the pictures to people, they were like, "Wow, who's this?
Yeah,
How did you make this?" I had no idea, but they started to tell me this, and I like the feeling of trying to make people like look their best.
right.
And it went from there. That was like the starting point, you know.
That's really cool. So it just started randomly. Like, it wasn't like,
Very
I'm gonna pick up I've seen other people make money in this. I'm gonna pick this up and try to start doing it. It's just, hey, I took a couple shots, showed them to people, and people got excited.
very random. Yes, very random.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
and so it was really the feeling, like you said, that of people reacting to kind of like, in a way, your natural talent, right? Because I do the same thing, right? People ask me to take a picture, I take a picture of them, and they're like, "This is terrible. Please, please never do this again. I Please give it to anybody else." So, in a way, this is like a natural. This was a natural talent of yours, and you're just like, it was the emotion or the feeling that you got from like their satisfaction.
Yeah, yeah. Like I am a people person
Mm,
in general. So when I started to feel that I can make people feel that way, I was like, I love it.
mm.
And then of course, weddings for me, I like any happy environment. That's me as a person in general.
Yeah,
Like I like to be in just a happy environment. That's
yeah,
so
yeah,
that the first time I did a wedding, I was like, wow.
yeah,
I was helping one of my friends, but I was like, okay, I love it. That's what I
yeah.
want. Everyone is dancing, everyone is dressed up, everyone is happy. That's where I want to be, you know?
How'd you go from was weddings your first kind of paid or professional gig?
No. So I started to do a lot of like my friends, anything,
Yeah. Okay.
proposals, birthdays, engagement, like anything.
Yeah.
Until one time, one of my friends, he was a wedding photographer in Egypt,
Mm,
and he was like, you know what, I need your help, and I would love you like to help me. I told him I have no idea what I'm doing. I never did a wedding before,
yeah.
so you have to tell me what do you need. He was like, don't worry, just come with me and I got you. I will tell you exactly what to do.
Very cool.
And that day, I walked into the wedding ballroom. Wow, a lot of flowers. People are happy. Everyone is like happy. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm holding a camera and people are asking me, okay, let's do this. I was like, okay, I love it. I want to be here. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know,
Where was
that's
the first one? Where in Egypt was the first one?
was it in, there was a hotel. What's the name of the hotel? Very famous. I actually forgot the name.
It was Cairo though, or
Yeah, Cairo.
oh, Cairo.
Yeah, Heliopolis.
Nice. Wow. So, okay, cool. So your friend got you into the industry, kind of showed you how exciting it could be, and you kind of fell in love with it. And then, so, like, how'd you transition? Like, so it started in Egypt. Obviously, now you're NYC based.
Yeah.
And so what was that transition like? How'd you kind of bring and hone guessing you hone your skills in Egypt and brought them here? Like, how'd that work?
So the main thing that I started to do was starting to help other establishment wedding photographers in Egypt,
Huh.
and that's where I learned everything.
Okay.
So I started to go out and just offering that I'm just going to be an assistant. I'm not shooting. I'm just holding the camera,
Huh.
just seeing what they see, helping them with the equipment, all of that. I did this in Egypt with like I believe three or four like very huge establishments, like photographers. And then when I started, okay, to understand what's happening and how they run the business, what they do, like to learn from them, then I wanted to do more like shootings. So I started like like to be the second or the third photographer with them on the wedding day.
Okay.
I would go there and do like all the work they need me to do, and then ask them for feedback, what they think, what did I do right, what did I do wrong, all of
Mhm.
that. that's how I started to like to really start holding the camera and direct and do all of that.
Yeah.
Um, and then I had some weddings that I did on my own in Egypt.
Mm,
And when I moved here to the US, it was very hard transition because weddings are very different in Egypt
right. Okay. Yeah.
other than here. So
Yeah.
it's mostly outdoors, a lot of flowers, a lot of ceremonies like 4 5 p.m.
Right.
doesn't happen here. You know,
Right.
here
Right.
like we leave the wedding in Egypt like 5 a.m. That was the norm, you
Yeah.
know. And here it's like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. That's it.
Yeah. Everybody go
So
home
I
because we got work in the morning.
yeah.
Yeah.
So so here I started to okay, I need to have a portfolio here because
Mm.
people has like they have to relate to what I'm sharing.
Oh,
So I started to do the same thing here. I started like to find couples that they want to do like engagement photo shoots.
right.
And that's how it started. Like I did a few engagement photo shoots here. And then I started to push that I want to do more weddings. I started to do 1, 2 weddings a year. And then,
Mm.
started like to go from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so you came here. You were not. When did you come? Like what year?
I moved here 2016,
2016. So
December.
and so by 2016, you were already full time, right? You spent 5 years electrical engineer. You're ready now by 2016 full time, and you came here and you were not. You were all in on photography. You weren't doing engineering on the side or anything.
In the beginning, of course, I did some engineering because
Mm.
like I have no idea
Yeah.
what I'm doing. I
Right.
have
Right.
no idea how the business, like I don't know anything. I don't know anybody. Like I
Right.
don't know anything.
Right.
I
Right.
was like, okay, let me just figure this out.
Yeah.
And on the side, like I remember February 2017, like I opened my LLC. They told me, okay, this is how you should do it. I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Open a business account. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Like I'm just following all the steps.
Yeah. 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 Very
Uh,
cool.
yeah.
And so you kind of you get established here. You go from 1 or 2 weddings a year. It starts, I'm guessing, people start seeing your work. It starts kind of ramping up from there. You talked about something really important and interesting when you first started, right? A lot of people think like, oh man, I could just be a photographer, right? Like everybody just get a camera, it's $300, you get started, whatever. And I can take shots as well. But you talked about this idea of learning behind somebody else, learning from other people and kind of honing your skills. Can you talk a little bit more about that and why that was so important for you?
Actually, until today, I still work with different people.
Oh,
Until
cool.
today, yeah. The main idea is uh, photography. There is no right or wrong, or any art in general. There is no right or wrong. There are the basics, of course, and
Yeah.
like the rules, but you can break the rules like every day.
Yeah.
Um, so I felt that the easiest way for me just to get to the point and really know what I'm doing is just to be learning and keep learning and keep learning and
Mm.
keep learning. And working with different photographers, it helped me a lot. Like I just go out there and I see how they see it. I see how they direct. I see how they deal in this specific situation because it's not only about photography.
Right.
Photography is the easiest thing on the wedding day.
Interesting.
There is a
Okay.
lot of more work like planning, how to be direct, how to like to hold the situation together, how to keep
Mhm.
the parents happy and the bride happy. It's a
Yeah.
lot of things. Photography is the easiest thing. Like once you know what you're doing, it's okay, it's easy.
Yeah.
But then there is a lot of like behind the scenes work that you need to understand. So until today, I go out with photographers and I learn from them. I just keep learning. That's the point. Keep learning, you know?
And that's interesting to me. Like I know you have your own company, you have people that work under you now. We could talk a little bit more about that and scaling teams and what that looks like. But I actually had no clue that you're still working, maybe with more even experienced people that have been in it for a longer bit. So how's that work? Like, why would they like? Is this a barter system? Like, you teach me, I teach you. Like, how's that work? What's that
No,
relationship like?
no, the relationship I met like during when I moved here 2016, 2017,
Yeah.
I did a lot of networking because
Uh,
I didn't know anybody.
right.
So I did a lot of business workshops, like photographers meetup, like
Yeah.
all of that. And then I have I believe maybe like around 5 to 10 photographers that I knew at that time.
Right.
They were very experienced. They were also growing, and until today, they are growing.
Mm.
So the relationship is just very positive. When they need help, they reach out to me.
Yeah.
If I have like a few dates that I'm not working and I can do it, why not? Let me go.
Right.
I go with them like different venues, different weddings, different experience. I see how they work.
Mm.
I learn from them. I see different equipment. I see different things. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
That's
Uh,
really cool.
yeah,
It's cool to see that. So like it's interesting that these entrepreneurial concepts are so similar throughout different industries. Like I got into tech, I was going to be a dentist. I didn't do any of that. And then what how did I get in? I actually just networked, right? So like you, right? Like to get into an industry that you didn't necessarily study, you just networked and you met people that are more experienced than yourself and you built yourself up in that way and you and like what I'm guessing is you provided so much value to them up front that they're
100%.
like, I got to know this guy. I got to keep this guy around. I got to help this guy because he's so helpful to me. Right. And like,
100%.
yeah.
100%. The main point is when I go out with another photographer, I'm serving him or
Mm,
her.
mm,
That's the point. I'm
mm,
not going there for my portfolio. I'm not going there for myself.
mm.
I'm going there to help them. So they know what are my strengths as a photographer, like in a technical way, like lighting, all of that.
Right.
So they know, okay, if I bring Chadi for this wedding, I'm good here with this specific lighting situation, for example.
Right.
And he's not gonna promote himself. He's not gonna go and do this and do that. I
Right.
know he's good. That's it. That's how they relate. That's why they keep reaching out to you again. You know.
Yeah. And can you talk about like the opposite of that? I'm sure you've seen so many people that get that opportunity and then do the opposite of that. What ends up happening to
Uh,
those people that don't necessarily treat it the way you're treating it or you used to treat it?
that happened with me. Essentially, like I hired some people. They, of course, I had them. We did the same thing. They are helping me with a lot of weddings.
Right.
But then I started to see they are promoting themselves more. And then it came to a point that they started to book some of my clients. They are already outside of this circle, but somehow they got in. I
Right.
spoke with them. So I was like, you know what? If these are your values, I'm sorry, we cannot work together. And that was
Right.
it. Out of my network, out of my group. That's it.
Yeah.
This is how was it. That's the opposite when you go and you just promote yourself.
Yes.
It's the main point of being in a team that you're trying to help. Like my customer is the other photographer, not the
Right.
couple. You know,
Oh,
that's
interesting.
that's the point.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
No, that's yeah, that's just super important. Like there's so much value and insight to that. Because I think like what a lot of people miss is like a lot of this stuff builds on each other, right? And ultimately, if you're treating it if you're not treating it like a marathon and you're just trying to get everything at one time, you're going to fail.
100%. Yeah,
You're going
you have to like to know what you're doing, and at the same time, like it's part of like integrity.
yeah,
If nobody's watching, what are you doing?
right,
You know what I mean? Like I cannot go with another photographer and give my business card to anybody.
right,
Even when couples are asking me or anybody from the guests asking me, can you please give me my business card? Yes, here is the business card for the main photographer.
right.
And that's it.
Yeah,
So it's integrity, and you're building good relationships with these photographers, which is like they are your co-workers essentially, and in the field, and
yeah.
that's your name. That's your name. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, I'm glad we touched on that because I think ultimately, like, you can't necessarily get to where you are now without doing those things earlier on and kind of one building up your skill, building up your network, and doing all the things you did earlier on to get to where you're at now. And so, can you just kind of like talk about how the business has evolved and where you're at now? Like, how is it to have scaled the business to this point, and what does that look like for you?
um essentially the main thing was nonstop working for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And like nonstop is really nonstop, like no weekends, no family, anything, no anything, just work, work, work for 5 years.
Yeah.
And I went to the point that I was doing around like 60 to maybe 80 weddings a year. And then at one point I was like, okay, this is too much. I'm burned out. I cannot do this. I have to scale down. Then
Yeah.
I started to learn more about, okay, what are my strengths? What can I do? How can I make the same money but doing less amount?
Yeah.
How can I go provide more value to my couples so they can pay me more?
Mm.
And instead of doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday wedding, I can only do Friday wedding or
Yeah.
Saturday, or at least two weddings instead of three, you know?
Right.
The scaling is essentially a lot of work, learning everything new
Mm.
as much as possible, keeping your integrity with a lot of vendors, because a lot of these photographers, they send me work until
Mm.
today. They send
Right.
me wedding. If they are booked, they send me the wedding, Um, that's essentially how it grew, up to that point,
Yeah. The idea of providing more value to one client instead of three, and potentially getting paid at the end of the day the same amount with probably two-thirds of less work. Can you talk a little bit about that and like how important it was to learn this and to um yeah, like how that every even becomes possible?
So the main idea was for me was try to focus on my portfolio.
Mm.
Like why this photographer is being paid X amount of money if I am producing the same thing and I'm being paid less.
Right.
Why? So I started to sit down and focus on my portfolio, like what I need to show and what I need to not show in my work.
Mm.
So that's the focus on portfolio thing. I took like a few courses with other photographers and I started to learn, okay, what attracts this type of couple?
Mm.
Why they are very interested in this specific photographer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I started to study, okay, why I need to focus more on my portfolio. So I started to do a lot of, not a lot, but a few like style shoots every other year, like maybe once or twice a year, just because style shoots, you can show more of what you can do
Yeah.
because you have a lot of time on your hand.
Uh,
In a normal wedding, you don't have 10 minutes. You're just running around. So you have to get the basics as
yeah.
soon as possible. So and then I started to, of course, I read a lot of books, essentially business books. And one of them was like focusing on quality, not quantity,
Yeah.
quality clients versus quantity. That was a big thing for me. And when I started to understand that, okay, I can make the same money on a weekend, but just doing one wedding instead of three,
Right.
that for me was like, okay, how can I do this?
Right.
And that's where I'm right now, like where I went, I believe after 2021 or 2022. I started to take way less weddings. Right now, I'm around 20 to 30 max. Max. I don't take more than 30.
Well,
This year,
how are you even doing 60 or 80? Like I'm trying to think like most of the weddings are in the summer, that's your high season. Like how'd you there's like what, 12 weeks in the summer? Like how'd you, well, May to whatever September. I didn't how'd you do that?
so with that number, I believe one of the factors was because of COVID. Right after COVID, there was not enough dates for
Yeah.
the old couples
Yeah.
plus the people who were getting married after COVID. So
Right.
I was working Monday weddings, Tuesday weddings, Thursday weddings, Friday weddings,
Wow.
because couples they either cancel the wedding or they just get married on a weekday, and that was
Right.
it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
because they already committed to the venue and there is not enough dates. There is no dates. So that time I was shooting 70, 80, like 2020, 2020, 2021, 2022. I was shooting huge amount.
Yeah.
2023, 2024, 2025, I'm like around 20. That's it.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
but each of those, you figured out a strategy to get what you need to get from each of the weddings. And
Yes.
so from kind of a value perspective, does your value actually change or just is the positioning of the way you're you're, kind of marketing that value. Maybe you're doing add-ons and things like that, but, like, your photography doesn't necessarily change. Like, what actually changes
Both,
in,
both
both? Okay.
at the same time. Because if you are a photographer or anybody in the creative world, if you're
Uh,
not learning every day, goodbye. two
yeah,
years, you're not gonna be there.
and you
So
can't
yeah,
really learn if you're doing 60 or 80 weddings.
yes,
Right,
yeah,
right,
that's true.
right.
And after that point, I was like, okay, I have to slow down. I have to have time for myself
Uh,
to reflect, to look back on weddings, to see what I did right, what I did wrong,
uh.
to read a lot of books. Even books, they help a lot with like understanding.
I can't believe you read still. Like, you're, like, the last person that's reading, which is amazing.
I
I love
try,
it. Yeah,
I
no,
try
it's
as
amazing.
much as possible.
Good, good.
Like right now, I'm reading this book,
Oh,
The
cool.
Color. It gives you a lot of what colors, like what color evokes what emotions and
Uh,
things like that.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, what I was saying, I forgot.
No,
We
so
were
yeah, sorry, you're talking about reading, kinda honing your skill and having the time
Yes,
to do
so
that.
both at the same time,
Yeah,
learning every day, trying to get the best shot in less, like the most efficient time, like
yeah,
get like during a wedding day, learning, and at the same time, the packaging, the marketing, the brand. Right now, I'm taking like a 1 year mind like workshop. Like it's a very focused on marketing and sales.
yeah,
So that's like behind the scenes, like you're learning a lot about branding, sales, marketing, how to close a deal, how to like the business aspect.
right.
And at the same time, I love like reading books, going to museums, like learning more about photography, how to see lighting better, learning from other photographers. So I'm doing both at the same time.
That's awesome. And you're honing in on a specific topic that I keep hearing a lot about. And one of my investor friends, he actually owns a hedge fund. He does really, really well. And somebody asked him, if I have $25,000, what would I be investing in, or what should I be investing in? And he said, I, you can just go put in the S&P 500. You're probably guaranteed, or, you know, 8 to 10 to 15%. Or you take that money and you invest in yourself, you learn, you take courses, you do interviews or whatever it might be. But this idea of investing in your craft and learning really pays so much dividends later on, as opposed to the short term. Yeah, I can make whatever, 50% on this money now.
Very true, very true. You have to because your skills that you investing yourself in yourself is the only thing that would really pay for itself. You
Mm,
know,
mm,
keeping like keep pushing and learning new things. Like for me, I started to add videography and content creation to my wedding packages end of
mm.
2023. That helped me a lot, marketing wise, money wise. Me myself, I'm learning something new.
Yeah.
You have to keep learning. If in this day and age, if you're not learning every day, you cannot compete. It's very hard.
Yeah. I want to talk about kind of your style, right? Like, I'm just curious, like, as a person that understands nothing about photography other than, oh, this looks nice.
Yeah.
What how do you define your style? How does it kind of differentiate from, the other people in the market, and, how you yeah. How do you define your style?
My style is timeless, elegant, and true to life.
Mm,
That's how I describe it very shortly. I want my couples to look at their wedding photos and say, wow, that looks beautiful. I
yeah.
don't want them to look back and say, oh, that was trendy back in 2025.
Uh,
I don't like anything trendy. I don't do it, and I don't even post it. If the couple they want it, I just do it for them, and that's it.
yeah.
I don't because it's something trendy. It's a trendy thing. It's not gonna until today. I post weddings that I did like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, and it still looks beautiful.
Wow.
Because of how simple and elegant it looks. That's the only thing.
How do you
So that
how do you how do you get the like, how do you know the difference between something that could be like something that's new but could be timeless versus something that is just a trend and this is kind of gonna this look or style is gonna die out in a year? Like, how do you know that before, other people?
A few things. Number one, like you will see a lot of every 2, 3 years there would like uh, colors or filters that some photographers use.
Oh,
Like it's either super yellow or super blue or super dark or super white.
right.
Like every few years something like that comes up.
Mm.
Um, of course, if you follow it for 2, 3 years, whoever booked you at this time, when they come and look back for new couples to book you, it looks outdated.
It looks weird. Yeah.
That's one thing. Another thing, when I'm shooting, I try to show only the timeless things. Like if the couple is walking and I see, let's say, like a car at this time, let's say a 2025 car, I'm not gonna show it in the photo. I'm just gonna remove it. Why?
Yeah.
Because it tells the time. I
Ah,
want the scene without anything that would tell you this was like 1955 or
right.
2025. You know what
Right.
I mean? Things like that, you know?
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool. And so, like, does every good photographer have kind of like their own stamp, their own style, the thing that kind of says, "Oh yeah, I was photographed by Chadi Mansi." Like, does everybody have that, or is it just kind of like the best ones, or
No, I don't understand your questions. Like, you mean,
like how everybody kind of has their own signature, like at the bottom of the page, Chadi
yes,
Mansi's like
yes.
logo. Is there a way you can tell from like different photographers? Like if you just saw a picture, this is shot by that person, I can tell that.
That's the goal to every working photographer.
Mm.
Like the goal to any photographer or a videographer is for people just to know without seeing like the tag name or any signature. That's like when couples tell me I saw this shoot, I knew it was you without knowing. That means okay, I'm going in the right direction.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
cool.
that's the main thing. That's the goal for every photographer. Yeah.
No, you talk a lot about kind of trends and kind of staying on top of, you know, the world and like business and learning. What are your thoughts about artificial intelligence, AI? Has that come up a lot in the technology world? What are people saying about it? How are photographers kind of dealing with it? Is this a topic or is it just like whatever? It's like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
AI, it happened already. Like it's already there.
Yeah.
Everyone is talking about it. And for me, I see it as a tool,
Mm.
and it made a lot of things a lot easier for
Yeah.
me and for every creative. Right now is the time for us to learn it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's you just have to learn how to utilize it and how to make the best out of it.
Uh,
Because today, even if you're using AI, you're not using it up to like 100% potential.
yeah.
Where you are, like everyone right now is trying to get at least 10, 20% out of it.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm using it for a lot of like behind the scenes work. Like my meetings now, I have somebody who's like notes taker, and
Yeah.
they finalize everything and they put it.
Right.
I used to do this by hand, like when I speaking with my couples. Okay, right, I'm writing down everything. Now it's
Yeah.
just being done for you,
Yeah.
so it makes it a lot easier for me and of course for the couple.
Uh,
I know some people are like, oh my god, it's gonna take my job. Yes, it's gonna take your job. You need to figure out what is the next thing. Like
yeah.
you cannot just keep doing the same thing and
Yeah.
expect. Of course, for photography, somebody has to go there and do the work.
Right.
But editing, for example, editing right now, a lot of big portion of it is being done by AI.
Yeah.
A lot. I edit my pictures like my own, but I still have a part of it being like powered by AI, you
Yeah.
know? So it's a tool, and it's a very, very powerful tool.
Yeah. I was just telling you, like, this podcast would take me probably 8 to 10 hours to edit each episode. And because I just use AI, it's taking me an hour, right? Like to actually edit and then, figuring out how to actually distribute and whatever. But yeah, it's you know, are you seeing are some photographers like kind of just like really freaking out about it and refuse to use it? Or is everybody just kind of getting on board and it is what it is?
No, I see, like as you see in any industry, some people would tell you, "Oh my God, it's taking here, it's gonna take my job," and
Right.
they are complaining about it.
Right.
And the other half is like doing, okay, I need to learn you, I need to use you,
Yeah.
I need to utilize you, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I see that like in every industry,
Yeah.
photography, outside of photography, every industry.
Yeah. It's about the same in just overall tech in general. And
Yeah.
um yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. What does kind of like the future look like for the business? And like what are you hoping the next maybe 1 to 5 years kind of looks like for you guys? Are you thinking about different verticals? Are you like, how do you scale this? Do you even want to scale it? Is this just like, I'm happy, we're doing well, and we're gonna keep going like this?
Um, right now I'm trying to scale more in video productions and content creation.
Uh,
Like I am adding a lot of like all of my packages now, they have photo, video, and content creation.
yeah,
I did kind of like invented something that you remember we used to like only engagement, like save the date photos.
yeah.
So I just added, okay, let's do save the date videos. And I started to do it.
Oh,
And a lot
cool.
of couples got like, when they saw the work, they were like, oh my God, that's amazing. And now a lot of couples are asking me about save the date videos, you know?
Oh, wow.
So now
I
when
wish
I
we
go
did
out,
that. Uh,
right?
Man, me and you overlapping on engagement and wedding was the
Yes,
worst. It was the worst, man.
I remember.
I just for everyone. I tried to get Chadi for engagement and wedding. Man was booked. I couldn't, and honestly, it was my fault. I came to him too late. But man, and now you're telling me about save the day videos. Man, I would have loved all of that stuff. Sorry, keep going.
Likewise.
Keep going.
Likewise.
Keep going.
So I'm trying to see, okay, how can I add more value? You know, like
Yeah,
I'm going out and doing the engagement work for photography. Why not add video for it? So that's what I started to do, and couples are loving it. So I'm like, that's where I'm going. Way focusing more on video and content, but I'm not trying to scale
yeah,
because scaling and luxury very hard.
uh,
You know, I like to give my couples like boutique experience,
yeah.
like really know what they want because it's not photography and videography. There is a lot of things behind the scenes, like under the surface, that they
Uh,
really want, like very deep. Like they want, let's say, some couples they tell me, I want to be seen in this way. I
uh,
want to be known by this wedding in this venue by this thing. You know,
uh,
there is a lot of layers for it. So I want to keep the experience at best while also having a good work time versus vacation time
yeah,
versus money. You know, like I
yeah,
want to make sure it's all uh, maybe balanced. But how do you define balance? You never know. It just depends. Every year I get to know, okay, that was good. Next year, you know what? Let's push this a little bit better.
yeah.
Like that's where I'm going.
That's cool. That's really cool. And I like the fact that you kind of just dug in and said, I'm not going for, the everybody wedding. I'm going the boutique wedding. I'm going to give the best kind of world class experience, and that takes time and takes effort. How big is the team now?
Now we're talking, I have at least like two, three photographers, two, three videographers, two assistants, and two, three editors.
Wow, nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so
And actually, just want to say, I cannot do this without my team.
yeah,
That's a big thing because people, it is what it is, but they remember only me, and that's okay. Like I love it.
yeah,
But my team is doing like a lot of work, you know, behind the scenes. They show up on time, they are professional, they do everything they can.
yeah.
So yeah, shout out to my team.
And just from that perspective, right? How do you keep the kind of the morale up, right? I feel like the team itself, it's a really hard day for that team. Obviously, there's prep work, and now and day of seems so hard. It looks kind of exhausting, right? Like I'm like, man, this team is here from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, and just capturing every moment. They got to get all these shots. How do you, from a leadership perspective, how do you keep your team engaged? How do you keep their morale up, especially given the fact that sometimes it's just like nobody's gonna thank them, right? Nobody's gonna. It's just like, oh yeah, it's your job, whatever. Like, how do you keep their morale up?
That's a really good question because It's a lot of work for the main photographer or like the owner
Yeah.
because it's your people, your team, they are the one like they are holding you.
Mm,
So number one, I have to communicate with them as early as possible.
mm.
I have to pay them on time and to pay them well.
Yeah.
I have to keep them like to give them all the credit that they deserve, you know.
Right.
I
Right.
have to help them if they need help on their personal weddings if they want to. Like I get a lot of assistants that they work with me for 1 2 years, and then of course they want to branch out and do their own thing.
Right.
I help them as much as possible. If they need equipment, if they need anything, I'm like, guys, just reach out. Let me know if you need any help. They ask any questions. Here you go. This is how you do it.
That's
I
cool.
try to like to treat them as like human beings, you know. They
Yeah.
are not
Yeah.
just like
My
just they don't,
workers. Yeah.
yeah, they are not just your workers. They do a lot of for you, you know.
Mm, that's awesome. Yeah, and it, like, because there's so many people that look at this type of stuff as maybe it's a little different in photography. I feel like everybody at some point wants to kind of branch off on their own, but this idea of like, this is my team, you work for me, and if you ever want to leave, this is like ultimate betrayal. Like,
No, I
how
don't.
how
Yeah, yeah,
how
I
dare
know
you?
exactly. I know exactly
How
what you're
dare you?
saying. I
Yeah,
tell them the opposite. Once you're ready, I'll help you. I'll support you. Just give me like time so I can plan for it. That's it.
yeah, yeah.
A lot of people they came working with me for like 1 2 years and then they started on their own. I if I get weddings that I'm already booked, I try to give it to them if they are doing their own thing. I try to help as much as possible. It's just the right way to do it.
That's awesome. And just like it's funny. Like I was so interested in the business side of all of this. Like from a client perspective, the couple that you're working with, um, how do you manage that relationship, right? Like ultimately, it is a weird kind of like intimate relationship with the photographer, right? It's like capture these moments, and like they're all intimate moments that you're having with that the couple's having with each other, and you're supposed to be there for all this. Like, what's that relationship like? How do you manage it? Yeah, can you kind of talk about
Yeah.
that?
I think that's one of my strength, like in general, that I try to be as personalized as possible.
Yeah.
Like I do a lot of customization for them. I really spend a lot of time with them to
Uh,
really know what they want and what their style. Because the language sometimes they tell me I want timeless photos or I want fun photos, but they send me something when we sit down and dig deep, something very different. And
yeah.
sometimes they don't know that, like they discover with me, you know.
Mm, right.
So that personalization aspect, of course, being as responsive as possible, listening to all of like their main like their main questions, their main thoughts, their main uh like whatever they have in their mind as a problem for them.
Yeah.
I am just there trying to solve this problem. um I think that's the most important thing, just personalization,
Yeah.
giving them like a lot of time of my time just to sit down and go through everything together.
Right.
um I think that's pretty much like the most important things, you know.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. And what's like the first piece of feedback that you got from a photographer? Like, I know initially we were talking about, hey, somebody was like, oh, they like these shots. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm good at this. But from like a couple after a wedding, like what's one of the best pieces of kind of like feedback that you've gotten from a couple after a wedding and you're like, man, yeah, this is it. I got to keep doing this and doing it well.
The main thing is making them feel comfortable.
Mm,
That's the main thing, because once you're comfortable and you don't feel that there is a big camera looking at you,
yeah.
it's just gonna be on like just on like as natural as possible, and that's where you get like the iconic moments and shots of every wedding. You know,
Uh,
once you as a photographer removing yourself and just being there and getting the right moment, that's it. As
mm,
long if you can keep your couple as comfortable as possible, that's the main thing. You know,
uh,
that's like the one thing that I hear from couples who had a really good experience. Wow, you were my stress reliever. I hear this, you know.
yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
were like you made me laugh.
Yeah.
You did
Yeah.
this, you know. Just be making them feel comfortable, you know.
Yeah. I love that. And honestly, man, it's like a big service, right? Like it really is like to make that moment so special for a couple and just make them feel comfortable. Yeah, you're providing a service, but in a way it really is a service. Like it's a really stressful day. It's an
Yeah,
exhausting day.
yeah,
It's supposed to be the best day of your life. And yet, like if you don't have a good kind of like team around you and people that, want to bring out the best, it can be really stressful. So like for you to add that and make that a priority is like amazing.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. I try my best.
But okay, rapid fire. We're gonna do a quick rapid fire photography focused with you. First, what's your favorite piece of gear?
um, all of my friends, they know like I started with Nikon, and Nikon is a big thing for me. So
Okay,
I use a lot of different system, but Nikon is the main brand that I grew with and that I
uh,
made money with.
yeah,
So for me, it's like very sentimental, like anybody, they come to me, oh, look at this, like they
yeah,
make fun of the camera. I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I work magic with this thing. Don't worry
Yes,
about
yes, yes.
it.
So Nikon gear in general is like my favorite. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. What's
Yeah.
the most unforgettable shoot location?
Um, like in New York, was for me was Ohika Castle.
Oh yeah,
The first time I went there, I was like, wow, what's
yeah,
happening? Where
yeah.
I'm going? That was one of like, okay, and it's still my dream venue that I just want to do a wedding there.
Very
So
nice.
hopefully, yeah.
Very nice. Hopefully. Okay. Well, the next person getting married at Ohika, give Shady a call. Okay. A non-photography influence. Somebody that's influenced you, non-photography. It could be a mentor, film, scripture, whatever, music, whatever it is.
Mainly it was my father. My father was a watchmaker, so
Mm,
like I got a lot of inspiration from him. How simple he was, how he enjoyed his life.
mm.
Until today, like I look at things, I'm like, what he would have done in this situation?
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. And yeah, that like and watchmaking, I'm sure you could talk about it a little bit as well. Like it's probably such a creative industry and so much kind of like just honesty goes into that industry.
Yes, I'm very passionate about it because I used to go, actually my father, he wanted me to be a watchmaker.
Oh, cool.
And at that time I was young, naive, I had no idea what I was saying. So I told him, no, I'm gonna be an engineer. Don't tell me to be like a watchmaker. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, yeah,
And he was like, you don't know what you're saying, but later on you'll understand.
yeah, yeah.
Today, if you're a watchmaker, the amount of demand that everybody wants you, because there is not a lot of people out there and there is
Right,
a lot of watches that needs to be serviced.
right, right.
Like they would pay for you to go to school
Wow.
just to be a watchmaker today,
Okay. Well, I
which
didn't
I
know that.
never heard about this before. Like, well, once I started to get more into it, I was like, wow, my father was right. you know
That's cool. Wait, and there's like schools for that stuff?
yes.
Oh, I
Yeah.
had no clue.
The main thing for them is they want to make sure, because you need a lot of patience, so
Yeah.
they don't want to spend the money if you're not gonna go, like if you're only gonna do 1 year and quit. They don't
Uh,
want that.
right, right.
So they do a few interviews and tests and things based on your patience. that's
Oh,
that's the main thing.
wow.
And they pay for everything. You just go attend. There is one in Pennsylvania and there is one in Florida, Miami.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good to know. All
Yeah.
right. Well, if you're young and listening to this and you're thinking about what to do,
Yeah.
get into watches. Like if
If
you
you
go on
want to be in
Instagram,
demand,
it's all over the place. So
if you want to be in demand for the rest of
yeah,
your life, just do
yeah.
watchmaking.
If you don't want to worry about AI,
Yes.
go be a
Yeah.
watchmaker.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what you should.
100%.
That's
Yeah.
great. Okay, and last one. Last one. What would you tell your younger self starting out?
Oh, very hard question. Very hard. I would just actually I'm so proud of myself, like I used to be like not giving credit to myself and what I do and what I like on a daily basis,
Yeah.
but now I'm like okay, you know what, you're doing great. Like, thank God you're doing good. Okay, keep going, keep doing this. You know what? No, stop doing this. We're not gonna keep doing this. You know, like
Uh,
the self talk and the self narrative.
yeah,
Very important. You know, when you get in any creative world, it's very we're very critical. Anybody
yeah,
who's creative,
right.
like when I look at my next post on Instagram, I don't like how this looks. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do that. It's very critical. You get because there is no third party that would tell you this looks good or bad. You don't know. You know, you're just trying based on your previous experience. You know, so I would just say, good job. That's what I'm gonna say.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
I love that because I think it is, as an entrepreneur, right? You never feel like you're doing enough ever.
yeah, yeah.
And you probably never feel that unless you really take a step back and kind of look at, just what happened, how'd you get here, and just like looking back at the past and be like, wow, been through a lot of stuff. Obviously, I want to get somewhere else, but man, this I love that. Like a lot of people are not. We don't take the time to just be like, man, you know what? Thank God this is really great where I came from, and let's keep pushing forward. I
Very
love
true. Very true.
that's
Very
cool,
true.
man. Well, with that, I want to just say thank you so much for just coming on. This was so much fun because I just sat here like I really just thought about anything. I had so many questions. I
Yeah.
didn't look at them one time, and it's just like I was just like so captivated by photography and like how all I don't know anything about it, and I just walked away with like kind of a master class. So
Thank
I just want to say thank you so much for coming on and blessing us here. And I hope you keep crushing it. And like your younger, like what you would tell your younger self, I'll tell you the same thing. You're doing awesome, and God is really blessing you. And I hope you just keep pushing and keep crushing it, man.
Thank you, Mina, for having me. It was really my like I didn't feel the time. It like flew by really quick. I am so excited about what you're doing. Like I wanna know how did you get the idea of just starting a podcast and like how did you get to it?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this for a long time. I think, my brother first interviewed me on my first episode just to kind of get a sense of like why we're doing it. And I just think there are a lot of narratives in the world, and there's so many narratives at the same time.
Yeah,
And in a way, narratives are subjective, right? Like everybody has their own opinion and their own thoughts, and they can see one thing and believe something else completely different. And I want to give more of a positive narrative to the world. I want to highlight and showcase people like yourselves that are doing really excellent work while still being really like faithful, right? Like faithful to who they are, who God made them, and kind of the purpose that they have instilled in their heart. Um, and I think sometimes people think, man, I can't be really good while being a good person, while
yeah,
being a God fearing person. And I want to kind of I want to eliminate those
no,
misconceptions.
yeah,
So
I love it. I
yeah,
love
and but honestly, I've been thinking about this probably for a year and a half to 2 years, and I hadn't done anything about it until August of this past year. But thankfully, I know a lot of people like awesome people like you, and people have been really cool to come on and have this conversation with me. So it's been fun, man. So
That's amazing, and I love that our community has a lot of really like experts in their fields. I love
yeah,
that, and I love that you're trying to mix and show that you can be really good, and at the same time you can be like God fearing and like it's very interesting. No,
yeah.
and thank you for that. That's amazing.
No, and the other thing is like a lot of the people I'm picking, some of these people get on like, TV shows and they're on the news and all this stuff. And then some people like, yeah, you've been written up a bunch of times by magazines and stuff like that. But then other people are just like, they're just really good at what they do without necessarily even having like a social platform to talk about it.
Yeah,
So I think like also not making it so that you have to be a celebrity
yeah,
to
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of be recognized. Like people are doing good work kind of behind the scenes, and I kind of want to show that like
That's amazing.
these
I
are real
like that.
people,
Yeah, I like that they don't have to be like a very famous or like super celebrity status. I
Yeah.
love that. That's really it shows like what your heart is made of. That's
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. You're not going to be one of those people. You're going to be, I know, on magazines, more magazines coming up, and you're going to keep crushing it.
thank you.
So I'm excited. And then the next like life moment, maybe God willing, I'll be able to book you. God willing,
Would be my
don't
honor.
know.
Would be my honor, inshallah.
But with that, I really thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you all for coming on to another episode of the Calling Code. We'll be back next week with anher cool episode. Thank you. Peace.
Thank you, Mina.
Bye,
Thank you.
guys.